Welcome to our graduation ceremony. And I want to thank everybody because this was one of the best classes. This is the 7th graduating class. And I see a lot of familiar faces. I've invited some of our former entrepreneurs of the year back to the school. Some of them actually graduating this year and have their sights on going into the entrepreneurial world right out of school. So we're going to get to hear from them in a little while. But first of all, 14 weeks ago, we were all sitting in this room, and there were 16 wide-eyed young students who felt that there was a better way in college, that they were not going to be school teachers, doctors, lawyers, psychologists, or other types of professions that they thought they were going to go into, that they want to work for themselves. And that over the course of the 14 weeks, we had many, many speakers come in who actually told you how they did it from the beginning. And I'm sure that hearing their experiences and learning that they made it the same way, just as you did. Okay, they came from humble beginnings. Many of them, with parents that worked for civil service or other types of fields that there was really no big money. And you heard firsthand what it took to elevate themselves to a new plateau. We heard from people like Ron Tarosian, okay, who has one of the largest PR firms in the world, who came down to teach you people how he started his humble roots in the Bronx and in Brooklyn, and that he was able to go from just persistence and hard work to become the #1 PR firm in New York. We also heard from Anthony Scaramucci, the hedge fund giant who is on CNBC every day, that came in and talked about his humble beginnings in Long Island and how he went to Tufts and then to Harvard Law School and then ended up going into the hedge fund business, and he was able to hopefully teach you some lessons that will last a long time with you. We also heard from Wendy Ocean, Broadway executive, who herself went to Brooklyn College, and her parents went to Brooklyn College, and was able to show you, after a misfortune that happened in her life, how she went to Broadway not knowing anything and worked her way up to becoming the premier leading company manager with a bevy of shows on Broadway right now, including Lucky Guy and Anne, Book of Mormon, and a bunch of other great shows that she's put on. And again, she started from nowhere. I'd like to take the time now to introduce you to Elizabeth Weiss. Elizabeth's going to be graduating. Let's have a round of applause for Elizabeth.
Hi, everyone. So 2 years ago, when I was a sophomore, I participated in the Leibowitz Entrepreneur Program, just like yourselves. And prior to attending Brooklyn College, I graduated from the Institute of Culinary Education as a pastry chef. After working in the industry, I decided that I wanted to go back to school to pursue a business degree, so that one day I could open my own business. When I heard about the Leibowitz Entrepreneur Program, I was thrilled to apply. And Mr. Leibowitz's program assisted me with forming my very own business plan and gave me the skills that I would need to market my own business and my own product. And the program also helped me improve my public speaking skills, which was really very important to me. When the class sold merchandise on campus, I decided to sell my very own cupcakes and frosting shots. And at the end of the semester, Mr. Leibowitz awarded me Entrepreneur of the Year, and I cannot thank him enough for giving me the chance to begin my business venture right here at Brooklyn College. My business's name is Sweet and Sprinkled. It's a small side business, but I'm looking to expand in the near future. Right now I fulfill private orders, and social media has been a really useful tool in getting the word out and getting the word out about my freshly baked pastries made from scratch. I also have a Flickr account, which is a photo album website, where I have a portfolio of all the images of my past work, which I share with family, friends, and potential clients. Some of the events in which I participated are the Vegetarian Food Festival, where I baked over 700 vegan cookies for the Earth Balance Company and their booth, the OXO Cookies for Kids Cancer Bake Sale event, and this past March I exhibited at the Coffee and Tea Festival, where I baked nearly 1,500 pastries. Recently I also provided pastries for a comedy club. It's called the Comic Strip on the Upper East Side, and they had a Mother's Day event, and I created cookies with a Mother's Day theme, and all different pastries and frosting shots, which I sold again on the campus when I participated. All of these events took place in New York City, and I try to partner with ones like the ones mentioned, as well as fulfill private orders for individuals who share businesses with others by word of mouth. Having my own pastry business requires long, hard hours, but it's a rewarding experience to bake something from scratch and satisfy the customer in their sweet tooth. So as long as one is willing to put in the effort, research the industry in which they are entering, and set their mind on their ultimate goal, I believe anyone can run a business successfully. And thank you for having me speak here. It's a pleasure. Thank you. And I have business cards to pass out. Oh, sure.
Great. Thank you, Elizabeth. And there's no wonder that you're going to be a highly successful entrepreneur. We have great hopes for you, okay? Congratulations on your graduation this year. All right, so I'd like to introduce a few people that you've never met before. In the back, I'd like to introduce you to Willie Hopkins, our new dean of the business school here at Brooklyn College. And then to my left is the vice president of the school, Andy Sillen, who's here today with us. Then I'd like to introduce you to my dad, Joe Leibowitz, who's here in the... As I told you during the semester, my dad was a New York City police officer, and if it wasn't for him taking me to the flea markets when I was 15, 16 years old, I'm not sure I would be up here today talking to you. And then my mom, who's sitting next to her, Shirley Leibowitz. Nobody could sell like my mom. She spent the year working for the city, but boy, when you get her out there on those flea market days, she's like you guys on the days you were selling. And last but not least, my wife, Sarah, who you all met during the year. So in honor of this class, I wrote a little poem for us. Okay, so here we go, and I have copies of the poem for everybody at the end. It's titled The Class of 2013. Our entrepreneur program has now come to an end. I know some of you will find the next trend. All the hard work forced you to think you'll find success before you blink. Selling at school, we worked very hard, and even the hard rain caused us no pain. Our weekly speakers were inspiring and wise. They told you your stories so you all can rise. The videos we watched made a big hit. I know you too can make it because you all have great wit. Greg's food business made a real impression. I know he'll be successful because it's his obsession. Tiffany, who I don't think is here. Tiffany, our knitter, dyed her own yarn. Soon she'll have enough money to buy her own farm. Civi's cupcakes was such a big hit. Her success is for sure, as she never quits. Samir's selling style brought in the cash. I predict she will be a winning smash. Anne's hot sauce brought tears to people's eyes. I know someday she will win first prize. Rami has personality and style to match. One day this lawyer will make an outstanding catch. Naomi is a team player that likes to sell. Her winning ways will treat her well. Joey has hustle and a contagious smile. His ideas are great, and he is definitely first rate. Jason, our Marine, we will always salute. He was also responsible for counting our loot. Gabrielle shouts louder than everyone else. Sold out every last cupcake without taking a break. Jessica wants to be a tutor and not a commuter. One day her courses will be available by computer. Chamay's tattoo business is a summer success with very little stress. Her fashion sense is immense and will produce lots of sense. Jamelia makes chocolates that taste so sweet and that are very hard to beat. Her Mother's Day pop sold out beyond doubt. Gilbert has strong ideas and is very creative. I know for sure he won't be poor. His accounting skills produced all the bills. Vanessa's determination and interesting biz could be quite a hit and make her a whiz. Judith knows selling one-to-one. I think one day she will hit a home run. Now our entrepreneur program ends, and you take with you the knowledge that you never thought you'd learn in college. Good luck in your future endeavors, one and all. Thank you.
First of all, I'd like to thank Professor Ted for such an exclusive opportunity to meet such wonderful and highly respected people today, and my fellow students as well, for the last time probably for the semester. In response to Professor Ted's poem and his amazing efforts, I decided to write him a personal letter and share it with everyone today. Dear Professor Ted, you have been a much-needed inspiration. I'll be graduating this May with a Bachelor's of Science in International Business Management, and I couldn't be any happier for having had the opportunity to be part of such an amazing journey. Coming to Brooklyn College to pursue my degree has been one of the best decisions I have made thus far, and a bright and successful entrepreneur like you offering such a remarkable class has made the business program nothing but perfect. As a chapter in my life is approaching to end, I am the most excited for the next chapter, knowing that I have learned so much in your class and have been finally given the opportunity to think out of the box in terms of my career and aspirations. After attending your class for spring 2013, hearing from the different successful guest entrepreneurs and thoroughly reading your book, I am more confident today that being an entrepreneur is my ultimate goal. Many successful entrepreneurs tend to have a clear idea of the type of business they will be committed to invest their time and money on. I, on the other hand, still in my search for a winner idea. I have taken the challenge of starting a henna business a few years ago in order to make ends meet and was very impressed with the results. And while the henna business has been a very successful venture, I am now most ready for a new exciting idea, one that will make the fortune and personal fulfillment I foresee. In the next few months, I will be traveling across North Africa, a trip that will be mostly focused on the exotic regions of Morocco. Aside from enjoying the wonderful weather of these regions, I will be conducting intensive research for the next big beauty product. Morocco is very well known for its exclusive natural beauty treasures, from argan oil, Moroccan ghasul, to other precious essential oils that have yet to be brought to the market. Coming from a huge traditional family, I grew up being exposed to the use of many of these natural treasures, and I'm most confident that I'll receive a lot of support from older members in my family who have a rich knowledge of the subject. In the meantime, I will be sure to keep in touch with Professor Ted to update him of any progress in my research and hopefully collaborate on a successful venture together sometime in the very soon future. Thank you very much.
I'm Gilbert Ben. I'm the fun-loving guy, always joking around. Now, I first learned about the program from previous semesters, walking through the breezeway and passing the selling days. And in inquiring what is all this commotion, what this is about, I was told that it was an entrepreneur program, that I should try it out if I'm interested in business, and so on and so forth. So I said, you know what? I'm a full-time student, an employee, and an entrepreneur, and this couldn't hurt. So let me try it out just to see what experiences I could gain from the program. In contacting Mr. Libris via email, he directed me to the site. He said, go on, take a look, see the videos, see what prior students had to say, and then, you know, when it comes time to registering, try it out, you see. So I said, okay, I did that. And it got me very interested into see, you know what, maybe that there is something that I could learn from this experience. So came time to registration, I registered. Almost didn't make it, sent some emails, and got in by the skin of my teeth. But however, I came into the class unknowing what to expect. And I would like to say I have my business up and running prior to entering the class. I designed graphic tees. I designed my own website where I sell them online. And I came into the class just staying afloat, doing word of mouth marketing, friends and family invested. And as the class progressed and the speakers spoke, I began to pick up pieces of information that everything started to click. Why I was having this problem, why I wasn't reaching my targeted market. Everything started to click about taking risk, about being persistent, about finding the cost of your market. Everything started to click and became in perspective. And I left the class I came in staying afloat, and I left the class confident being able to swim upstream, right? So the class was a big boost in my confidence and experience, especially the selling day, because I was one of those people that during the selling day, I would walk past real fast, because either I didn't have no money, I just didn't want to be bothered, or I was just running late to class. But to see the tables turn and how to solicit and how to be able to pull in the one that's walking past, I say, yeah, listen, check this out, come and take a look, and have them come to take a look at our table was a big experience that you just can't duplicate. And I learned so much from the class. I would tell anybody to join or just take the class, because you never know what you may learn. And the biggest thing to me is Mr. Leibowitz's experience and his contact with bringing all those people from all the different areas in business to help us and tell us what to expect, and to keep it very real, very blunt, and with no frills around the edges. And I really appreciate it, and I thank you very much for the experiences. It was wonderful.
I just want to thank Mr. Leibowitz for accepting me into the program. It was a great experience for me. I heard about the program through my husband, who had spoken to Mr. Leibowitz prior, and he told me that I should just go for it since I was starting my business and I already had my website up and running, and it wouldn't hurt me. So I decided to go for it, and may I say it was a great experience, and it really helped me break out of my shell, because I didn't know how to speak in front of people before. It was nerve-wracking, and I didn't know what to expect for selling days, which was also great because I got to interact with people, and now I know how to sell outside, which I want to do now in the future at Union Square or other places. So I just want to thank you for the great experience, and it has really helped me believe in myself, and it has really helped me build a lot of confidence. So thank you again.
It's really interesting how at the beginning of the semester, and we all get up here to speak, and I warned you how difficult it really is, and that, after a whole semester, it's so great to see how confident you are, and that you can come up here and you can communicate to your fellow students in such a really positive, inspirational way. Really makes us very happy. I'm just going to break up one of the students because I'd like you to hear the story of last year's graduate, Jeffrey Stylo. Okay, so Jeffrey graduated last year from Brooklyn College, and actually 2 years ago, I had a senior moment, 2 years ago, and Jeffrey actually started his own business right out of school. So he's here to tell you his story on what happened, to give you some further inspiration. So let's hear it for Jeff.
Hi everyone, I'm Jeff. I was here on the first day of class, if anyone remembers me. And like I mentioned then, my business is called Brooklyn Unplugged Tours. And the mission of the business is to take people that have never been to Brooklyn before, New York City or Brooklyn, take them past the barrage and facade of touristy attractions and activities that they are surrounded with when they come here. They stay in Manhattan, they stay in hotels, they're surrounded by things that are being marketed to them that New Yorkers don't ever do. Stuff that was created for tourists. So the idea is to take them past all that, bring them here and introduce them to the real people, the real food, the real culture of Brooklyn, the stuff that real Brooklynites do, the stuff that is often taken for granted by people that have lived there here part of or their whole lives. But this stuff that we encounter every day, this diversity, the different foods, different kinds of people, languages, and culture that we encounter daily is stuff that these people have never been exposed to before. So the idea is to bring them here and immerse them in it. That's what I do. And I've learned a lot in the last few months as things have picked up, because this is my first full season of tour operations. And so if there was one thing that stood out, which I would tell an aspiring entrepreneur or someone that aspires to run their own business or already does and is seeking to grow it, there are a lot of factors, there are a lot of things that go into it. But if there was one thing I would say that stands out head and shoulders above the rest, would be the fact that it all comes down to people. Everything is run by people, it's determined by people, and meeting the right people and making the right impression with those people is the single most important thing that anyone here could possibly do to grow their business or career. Because those people will open the doors for everything that you're aspiring towards. You have something you need, there's anything you need, there's someone that can open the door for you for that. So career-wise, entrepreneur-wise, it's all about the people. And as I'm sure most of you guys are aware, the term for that would be networking. So if there's one piece of advice that I would impart to anyone here from the work that I've done tirelessly over the last year, it would be networking. It would be identify the people identify the right people, have the right approach, and make the right impression. That's all I have to say. I'd also like to mention for a second that I'm looking to hire someone part-time over the summer. It would start with just a few hours a week, and it would be assisting me with really everything I do. So it would be web, social media, meetings, networking events, that sort of thing. So if anyone's interested, my email is on my card, which everyone should have gotten. You can drop me a line, and we can talk. And I'd like to thank Ted very, very much for having me here and for the inspiration that he's been from the very beginning 2 years ago when I was in his program.
Thank you very much. See, that's what it's all about. I mean, coming here for 14 weeks and the grueling, draining homeworks and speeches and hearing it from the speakers who give it to you real. They didn't get there by coming in late or moseying around. I mean, they worked long, hard hours like Jeff does. He writes me emails 2 o'clock in the morning. I mean, he's just tireless, and there's no doubt in my mind that Jeff's going to be a very successful entrepreneur by networking with everybody, okay? By networking with people in this room to sell the cupcakes or chocolates on his tour. I mean, that's how it all starts. You have to connect the dots. This is all about connecting the dots.
Hello, my name's Greg. I heard about the program. Can you hear me? Is that better? Okay. My name's Greg. I heard about the program last year, Professor's Manlow class. You came and gave a brief spiel about it, and I was interested and I applied. And I got the opportunity. Thank you, Ted, for accepting me. What I did learn in this program, I would say I really was inspired by everybody here. Very, I was inspired by the entrepreneurs that spoke, but I would say the class really inspired me. Like to see that people my age are doing things to become successful really just accelerated, I want to say, my growth in the class. I did really enjoy the selling days for one. I think I did pretty well. Like I enjoyed it. But one thing it did teach me, it taught me teamwork. Because on the second day, things were kind of slow because of the rain. But I forgot her name, the young lady was selling cupcakes. And after a while, I felt like, the jury's going to sell regardless. Let's all work at the team, help her sell her cupcakes and things like that. So it really taught me teamwork, and that's a big part of being an entrepreneur as well. And other than that, I would say I've been doing some networking. I talked to Jamelia because I'm about to launch my catering website. I've done it before, but I'm interested now in revamping everything after seeing all y'all great ideas. Made me step my game up a little bit. So I'm creating a blog, and I'm going to have sample parties, and I'm thinking about doing a launch party 4th of July week I'm aiming for, and Jamelia told me she has a venue that she rents out. So hopefully I'll get that on the ball. I have a month to get it prepared, and I will be sending the professor and hopefully everybody else the emails so they can come and try some food and network and things like that. And in conclusion, I just want to say thank you for the opportunity, and I really learned a lot.
Hi everyone. First I'd like to really thank Ted for everything. Basically, coming into this program, I was sort of lost. I'm a third year college student here, and I know what I want to do, but I don't know how to start it. The question is, where do we begin? Everyone has all these great ideas, but where do we start? How do we start? And really, this program actually taught me a lot. Building my own business plans, doing all these homeworks, it actually helps me grow as an entrepreneur. And an aspiring entrepreneur, actually. And all of you guys, actually, I really want to thank all my classmates. You guys might not know this, but every time you speak, it's really inspiring. You guys are selling your own things, and you guys have your own business already. That really pushes me to, Jess, what are you doing? Stop wasting time, and who cares about the partners that rejected you? Find new partners. It's okay. Right? And this class is so different than any other class that I've taken. I've taken a lot of business classes, but for me to step out of my comfort zone and start selling and start pulling in people hey, where are you going? You have money. I know you do have money. Saying things like that to random people, I usually don't do that. But having this class, it's a lot more different. And I think Ted is an amazing person because he does this, and that's why it's motivating me to start my own tutoring center as well, even more, because I want to give back to the community as well. I want to inspire younger students. I want to help them grow and help them succeed, and that's why I think Ted should invest in my business. Other than the fact that I have a great passion for tutoring and I have a great passion for teaching, I know what I'm doing with this, and I know one day it will be successful, and we will be successful. Thank you so much.
Good afternoon, everybody that's here, Vice President, Dean, and our distinguished guests, Ted's family, thank you for being here today. The professor, and last but not least, my fellow peers. First and foremost, I want to thank you, Professor Ted Leibowitz, for giving me an opportunity. This is my last semester here. Unfortunately, I wasn't able to get into the class due to a schedule last year, but luckily, after harassing you with a couple emails, you accepted me, and I thank you. So, there's a couple things I want to say. First and foremost, in all the other classes that I have taken in Brooklyn College, it hasn't really been hands-on. It has really been, okay, we do homework, read the textbook, you have a midterm and a final. We had the whole experience, I would say, from our lectures, Ted speaking about his life as well as an entrepreneur, and last but not least, the selling days, which I really love because even though I'm not a salesperson, I think I'm okay at it. So, thank you. All right, so now I'm going to discuss about the two most important lessons that I learned from this class. The first one is failure. I am a first generation and will be the first of the family to graduate from college in 2 weeks from now. One of the things I fear most is failure. But one of the things I learned as an entrepreneur, you fail. And a man's character is tested when you fail and how you react to it. How you are able to get back up from it. Ted has told us about his many failures, which you wouldn't think, but he has had. Also, our lecturers have had their failures as well. So it has taught me, okay, Rami, you might fail at something, but you're gonna get back up and you're gonna make the most out of it. So that's the one of the most important lessons I learned. Second, it was from the speech of Anthony Scaramucci, who told us three important things. So you have a pyramid, and it's based on trust, you have karma, and reciprocity. So basically, with all those things, like it was mentioned before by one of my fellow peers, the most important thing is the relationship that you build with others. So that's being good with others, because you don't know. He told us a story how he's always nice with the waiter, and that waiter ended up giving him a case, and he ended up defending his waiter. All right, so now let me tell you about a fear that I had in this class. As everybody here knows that knows me, I want to go to law school, and that is my number one passion. So I felt I was in a disadvantage because everybody here is opening up their own business, or they already know what they want to do. I know what I want to do. I want to be a lawyer, but I don't know where my life is taking me. Right? So as I was thinking of my business idea, I was like, wow, how am I going to stand out? And I just thought about an important thing is something that I like, which is fashion. So that's why I came up with my idea of a thrift shop, which is going to be different, but also something that will help uplift the community, which I am big about, especially living in Bed-Stuy, being an immigrant. So I am about helping others. So those were my two. That was my biggest challenge, and this is how. Hello. And this is how I hope to bring out my business, but by uplifting the community. And I also thank Ted for telling me about his son and how he has his own business, and he's in law school. So now I have a year off, which I could plan, hopefully get my business started, and while I'm in law school, own my own business. So, in conclusion, I thank everybody here for being part of this experience. And last but not least, this program has given me hope that a Dominican living in Marcy Projects will become a successful entrepreneur. Thank you.
I'd just like to introduce everybody to the president of Brooklyn College. President Gould, would you mind standing up? Okay. Absolutely. Yes, that's Joe and Shirley, Mr. President. Yeah, very good. Exactly.
Hi everyone. First, I do want to thank Ted Leibowitz for even having this program and for accepting all of us into this business program, teaching us how to be entrepreneurs and teaching us how to go to the next level. When I first entered this classroom, I remember the first day, I had no idea. Like, I applied for the program, but I had really no idea what I wanted to do. I didn't have a product, I didn't have a business, and what I had in mind was blurry and sketchy. So seeing, when the students were presenting and seeing that everyone either had an idea or had their businesses already, like, I felt like, I needed to get something going. I had been in lots of business arrangements in the past. Like I said during my presentation, I entered a lot of scams, a lot of business arrangements with different multi-level marketing companies. Some were good and some were just out there to take advantage of people. So really, I was just just used to disappointment, used to my money just being taken away from me. So I applied for this class wanting to learn how to be a better business owner, be a better business person, get the skills and the knowledge. And I can honestly say that I did get that from you guys, the students, the speakers, from TED, the videos. Like, I really learned a lot. One of the biggest things I learned from the lecturers is not to compare yourself to other people. I know that my experience and my business path, is, unconventional. And even though I had a lot of disappointments, I know that we're all on a different path. And we all have different ideas, we all have different talents and passions and gifts. And we are all on our own paths. And we should not compare ourselves to each other. That would just lead to even more disappointment. So right now, my business, as I said, is beauty consultant. I want to teach people how to take care of their skin. And one of the things I've realized is that a lot of the products on the market, especially for like eczema, acne, things like that, only treat like the symptoms. And my approach to skincare is to treat it from the inside out. So teaching people healthy living, how to eat the right foods, especially here in America, we do not eat right at all. We do not eat right. We do not exercise. We are just, complacent. So that is my business. And I didn't have that in the beginning. This idea of a beauty consultant, I didn't have that. It was sketchy in the beginning. But through the lectures and the videos and learning how to market and really learning how to find your niche, I think that's the second thing I learned, is not to do everything but finding a niche. I learned that through the process of the 14 weeks that we were here. So I think that, those are the two biggest things that I learned. Personally, one, not to compare myself to other people. You guys are all great and you guys are all going to be successful, and so am I. So and also to find your niche, be an expert in your specific field, and I think that's the biggest thing. And know that our Romney said, is to be confident no matter what your past or where you came from in the beginning. Just like all of our lecturers, they all had humble beginnings. They were not all born successful. And so I think we all can learn from that, and just to continue to be confident in ourselves and in our abilities. So thank you once again, Ted.
Hi, my name is Ann Tram, and for the lack of a better name, I came up with a hot sauce idea, and I named it Ann Tram's Hot Sauce. I don't know if I might change the name, but I think it fits. I think it's catchy, I hope. What I learned from this class, I learned that I wrote in the final paper that success and being rich is different. Yes, it's very different, but this is how my logic was. I was like, yeah, I want to be rich. I don't know how to get there, but I'm going to do it. So, but when you go in this class and you hear all these speakers, they're like, okay, well, I'm not rich because rich doesn't have a number. It's just a lofty goal. But if you say, I want to be successful, this is what I want my income to be, you have now a tangible number you can work with. You can say, I want to make $600,000 a year. So then you have more of a solid goal as to how you want to reach your goal. Art of selling hot sauce, I don't know, you're shameless. You have to be shameless. You can't just say, well, I'm shy, I'm just going to stand here behind the table and not, approach people. You have to say anything that makes them look at you, anything that makes them go, what are you talking about? I'm like, yeah, hot sauce challenge. I'm like, come over here. I was like, I have mango hot sauce. So it's, if you think that you have that $100 in your bank account, you will have nothing to lose. So that's why people are like, hey, do you have money? No, I don't. I only have $100 in my bank account, and that's how I sell, because I have nothing to lose. So whatever I will do, I will do. And if it wasn't for the selling days, I wouldn't go, okay, I'm really bored. Let's see how this hot sauce might work with other people. In a week, I got the jars. I made somewhat a consistent recipe of my hot sauces. They're pretty consistent now. I would like to say 99% of the time. You do need to fix a little bit. But if it wasn't for that 1 week of the selling days, I wouldn't have now sold out all my hot sauces, which is pretty good. And now I'm thinking about creating a website and actually starting something bigger. So in the summertime, I hope to bring this into mainstream. I like to take down sriracha. I mean, that's a very big objective, a little bit daring, but I like to say that I will take down sriracha hot sauce. I want to be the one next to sriracha in your fridges. Thank you for Ted for this opportunity. If it wasn't for that 1 week, I'd be not selling hot sauce.
So Ann came to sell first day, and she said to me, "You have to try my hot sauce." I said, "I don't like hot sauce. It makes me ill. I'm not a spicy kind of guy, even in Italian restaurants. I tell them, tone down the Fra Diavolo. I can't comes up on it." So Ann comes out, and she had this great creative idea to put her hot sauce on a pizza pie that she bought. I'm like, this class is all about creativity and doing things that are out of the box. So Ann, I didn't even know people eat hot sauce on pizza. She says they put it on everything. You know, even water they mix the hot sauce in.
I will try that.
But it was really very creative. She did a great job. And I think that there is definitely a career in something that I never would have thought about, hot sauce. So congratulations to you, Ann, on that.
Hello, everyone. My name is Jason. Okay. Hello, everyone. My name is Jason. As you guys know, you guys are all my classmates. But this program has been a very rewarding experience. And I would like to thank Ted, Brooklyn College, and all of my classmates. This program has inspired me in so many ways because ultimately I want to become an entrepreneur, but kind of like finding it out or kind of demystifying the process seems, was kind of like a trouble, because I tried a couple of business ventures and they failed. And it put a really bad taste in my mouth. And then I started to question my ability to say, hey, I don't think I can be an entrepreneur. I don't think I can succeed. After enrolling to this class and hearing from different entrepreneurs and hearing their testimonies and seeing that entrepreneurship is a process. It's kind of like a experiment. It's like a scientific experiment. You have to keep testing things over and over until you find something that actually works. And when it actually works, it makes up for all of the things that you, all of the times and all of the headaches and frustrations that you had. It makes that whole journey rewarding. Like I said, I like to thank my classmates because all of my classmates were inspirational. They're all are creative beyond measure. When I look at their businesses, even now, they're students and they have businesses, it makes me want to say, hey, I need to really step it up. So seeing them in action and being successful inspires me even more. For my business is it's a way to start ignitions with your fingerprint. Typically, because I have experience in security because I had a stint in the military for a short term, but I think this business is very it's a good business because this business can be used for all types of I guess commercial vehicles or military vehicles that need that needs individuals that are that has to have a classified usage. So that's my reason, and like I said, I'm really thankful for being part of this program. Thank you.
Everyone, sorry, the coffee's catching up. I want to thank, first of all, I want to thank Ted for bringing me into this class. I heard about this class freshman year, and now I'm a sophomore, so I was really interested in getting in. Once I heard that applications were due for spring, and I was like, I need to apply, I need to get in. One thing that I learned throughout this whole entire course, these 14 weeks, is that people are going to fail and that failure is okay. And I needed to hear that. I needed to hear that because I failed so much in my business venture, and then I needed to hear that it's okay to. And from all the people that Ted has brought in, all the networking, we heard from Norman Schwartz, who I really, and he telling us about leadership and telling us about everything that we need to know to get to where we have to be in successfulness. And that is somewhere where I wasn't before getting into this class. I feel like I was really lost and just didn't know what I wanted to pursue. At that point, I didn't even know if I wanted to continue my entrepreneurship goals, and I just felt like I wanted to quit. One thing that I also learned was leadership. I feel like standing over here, all of us coming up here and doing our presentations, we all are great. We all are leaders, and that is something that we're all able to take away, I feel. Another thing is that, I don't know, I just feel like Brooklyn College really does house greatness. It nurtures so much great minds. So many of the speakers that Norman has brought were from Brooklyn College, graduates and alumni. So I just felt so inspired by being in such a well-grounded community for college. You don't get this experience anywhere. You don't get to sell and gain those skills. You gain skills only in academics in other colleges, but here you're able to get the whole thing, and that was what Ted's class brought. I felt like when I came in, I wanted to do the beauty industry, but I also wanted to get into the car industry. I was able to actually weed out the bad ideas. With that, I want to continue on going on with my future goals as an entrepreneur. I do want to go into the mobile beauty business, bringing in different salon and just little salons in huge corporations, and that's becoming a really big thing. Articles have shown it, that people are really looking into convenience. Convenience is really hard to get because everybody's in the hustle and bustle of getting where they have to be, and they push things that they normally wouldn't to the side, to the back burner, because other things take priority. And I felt if the beauty industry is able to be more convenient, then more people would utilize the services that they're able to give. So that's why I feel that you should invest in my business, Ted, because it's a $40 billion industry so there's room for growth. I feel like with my creativity, I'm able to push forward and really go beyond the limits. I feel that with my education, I'm majoring in international business with a concentration in business law. So I feel that that will also give me the front hand to push forward. So I feel that we have room for growth in this type of industry. I want to thank you again for the opportunity. I also got to get into a business venture with Norman Schwartz, who's one of our speakers. Through that, I was able to meet Dean Willie Hopkins. So I feel that this has given me so much opportunity that none other class could give me. So thank you a lot. And lastly, on the behalf of everyone in the whole class, this is a small token of our appreciation for you. I don't think that this is enough, but I think that it will just tell you how much we really appreciate everything that you've done for us. So on the behalf of everyone who's here and everyone who couldn't be here, thank you so much, Ted.
Very, very much. Thank you, Brad. Thank you very, very much. One of the things we didn't discuss this semester, and we spoke an awful lot about Facebook and how you're going to promote your business on Facebook and you're going to network on Facebook, but little did you know that little Marky Zuckerberg had a Facebook. Both his parents and grandparents are Brooklyn College graduates. Okay, so whatever trickled down to little Marky to start Facebook probably started amongst the rooms over here in Whitehead Hall or Boylan for sure. It is my great pleasure to introduce to you our Entrepreneur of the Year, Jamalia France.
Hi, good afternoon, everyone. A little nervous. I was looking back at my letter that I wrote in to get into the class, and in the letter I expressed to Ted that during my years at Brooklyn College, I haven't really found a course that focused on entrepreneurship. I knew accounting was important when it comes to running a business and having a background in economics and business law, but I just felt like something was missing. I'm graduating in May, and I felt like I wasn't excited. And Ted's class was the thing that was missing. He gave me a chance to have a hands-on experience. I started making custom candies about 2 years ago. But going out on a selling day and seeing how the students reacted to it made me know that I do have a good product. A little nervous. With the homework assignments, I had a 2-hour break before Ted's class, and I used to read the textbook, and I wanted to just express how I felt about the topics in the homeworks. I remember Ted gave me a compliment on my homework assignments. I took the homeworks very seriously. The speakers that came in, I have a lot of notes in my notebook just to look back on, and also the video footage that we could look back online. The textbook, I think Ted was the first class that offered a free textbook where I didn't have to, hustle my parents for money to help me pay for the textbook or take out a loan. So he gave us the tools. It was just up to us to honestly use the tools that was given to us. I expressed how I felt about the Young Entrepreneurship Series, just to see young people like ourselves starting a business. I asked him for the contact or how I can get the DVD, and he was able to get me the contact at a discounted rate. So thank you, Professor, for that. Why a professor should invest in my business? I'm looking to start a small chocolate business that basically inspires young women and young men. Right now I work with my younger siblings and cousins, and I'm the first one in my family in 30 years to graduate college. A lot of my cousins took the other route of having babies and, going straight into the job market. I want to just show the young people in my family, close family and friends' kids, the importance of having a college education. So with my business, the incentive would be you have to be enrolled in school to work for my business. Also, if I can afford it, I would help fund, because a lot of kids, they don't get a chance to go to college because either their parents make too much income, but not enough to send them to school. So I would like to help them pay for classes, even textbooks. Another reason why professors should invest in my business is people are always eating chocolate. People love chocolate from the beginning of time. And my niche is to be able to customize the shape and the flavors of it. So I think I have the ability to aggressively compete against Godiva and Hershey. But I just want to thank Professor for the opportunity to be in this class. Last November I wrote in 2 days before my birthday. I was over my birthday cake like, please let me get into Professor Liebert's class, blowing out my birthday candle. I changed my job schedule. I work full time. I wanted to get into this class so bad. I made so many changes, and just to be able to be up here and be Entrepreneurship of the Year, I didn't expect it. It just let me know that all the sacrifices that I made along the way was really worth it. So thank you, Professor, and I'll see you at the grand opening.
Hi, my name is Naomi, and I am one of the few privileged students to have taken the entrepreneurship program with Ted Liebowitz. I must say that this program is absolutely amazing. In a matter of a few short months, you get to really learn about all the different facets of a business. You learn about customer service, you learn about marketing, you learn about purchasing and sales, finance and strategy. You really get to take an idea, a simple idea that you come up with, and develop it into a business plan. And if I had to say what I really got out of this course, when I came in here, I knew I wanted to start a business, didn't have the self-confidence, didn't think I had what it takes to start a company. And as I developed my business plan, as I did the homeworks every single week, and I started to ask myself those questions that I needed to ask in order to be able to write my essay, I learned a lot about myself. I learned about my strengths. I learned about my weaknesses. I asked myself why I thought I would succeed in business, why I thought this was a good idea to go on my own. And I developed my self-confidence as I developed my business plan. And that is immense. To walk out feeling confident that you can go out there and you can start a business and you can make it and you can be successful. That's an awesome, awesome thing to walk away from at the end of the semester. One of the other things that I learned is not to be afraid of failure, not to be afraid to take risk. Just about every single speaker that came into our classroom talked about failure. They all talked about it. They all talked about, being afraid of failing. They all talked about how at some point in their career they either failed or didn't do as well as they expected and you need to change things around. And it's really okay to fail so long as you get up, pick yourself up, and move forward. Look backwards a little bit just to see what your mistakes were so that you can know how you can improve for the future. You can always count on friends and reach out to other people to help you when you're in trouble, which is something else that I've learned because I never wanted to do that. To me, that was a sign of failure and weakness. And I learned that's okay too. So I've learned a lot from this class. And you know what? I really feel ready to go out there and start something on my own. Ted, if you really want to know why you want to invest in me, you want to invest in me because of my qualities. I'm hardworking. I got great work ethic. I got the business acumen. I got the desire and the passion to succeed, not just for my own sake, but for the sake of my children. So I have something to pass on to them so that they can come into the business one day. And I believe that this business of mine, called Ideas to Fruition, really doesn't have much competition in the area. Definitely not in the terms of where you get to buy your kitchen and your tiles and your lighting all under one roof, plus the added bonus of having a virtual design program to help you see the finished product so that you know if you want to invest the money in it before you actually go out there and spend all this money on your renovations. And I think that the return on investment for you would be profitable. And therefore, I think it would be worthy for you to invest in my business.
Hi everybody, it's Tiffy Kleinbart. I'm really sorry I couldn't make it to Applebee's, but I hope you guys are all having a great time. I would just like to start off by saying thank you to Ted Leibowitz for being such an amazing professor and for starting such a unique program. I don't think we understand how lucky we are that out of the thousands and thousands of students at Brooklyn College and at all colleges across, the world, so few of us have had the opportunity to, experience such a hands-on program with such a wonderful professor, such amazing speakers and peers. So we really are lucky. So thank you so much to Ted, and especially because you always took time out of your schedule to listen to our concerns and let us run ideas by you. So we really appreciate that. I know I do. And I also wanted to say thank you to all the rest of my classmates for also being so receptive to everyone's ideas and being so open to suggestions and giving suggestions to each other and really making a good atmosphere for everyone in the class. So to start off with, what I gained from the program, I gained quite a few things, but I want to highlight two main points. The first one is that I felt that every time I left a class on Wednesday afternoon, I felt invigorated. It wasn't just, a regular class, okay, next class. It was so inspiring, and I think it might sound a little bit trivial, but for me, the motivation was the number one thing that made the program. That I left each class thinking like, I'm gonna make a business and I'm gonna be successful. And you know what? Without that motivation, nobody would get anywhere. There's no point of working. There's no point in putting in the effort if you're not motivated to do it. And I think all our speakers really highlighted that hard work is what distinguishes the success stories from the failures, because the failures usually have good ideas too, but the success stories work at it even harder, and when they think they can't do it anymore, they keep going. And just hearing these success stories from all of the speakers made me motivated to want to work. So I think that's definitely the number one thing I gained from the class. I would say that the second thing I took out of this class that was the most important to me was that I got the message that there is a way to make it big and to make a lot of money and be successful and still have a moral character and be an upstanding citizen. I know a lot of times we hear about the corrupt CEOs and managers and all these people who kind of bent the rules and did whatever it took to make money, and it kind of puts me off from that kind of world, even though I do want to go into business. But I feel like we had great examples of people who really did make it big. They are real big time people, the speakers that we heard, and they still highlighted, how to act like a good person, how to, follow the rules and do the right thing, and you can still make it big. I know a lot of our speakers talked about how to treat others, especially those who cannot reciprocate. They aren't on the same level as you, let's say, like a waiter or just an employee, someone who really doesn't have the kind of leverage that a boss might have, and how you still need to act nice to them. I really took out that the people who make it big, it's not just about making money in their heads. They have the right priorities, and that's really important to me because I know that I don't want to just be about making money. Obviously, I want to have, family values and be able to not feel compromised in my morals when running a business. So I felt that that was a really important thing that I took out of this program. So why should you invest in my business? Well, first of all, I don't actually need investors because I have a very small initial startup cost, although I would not mind help with that. What I really need is publicity, letting people know that I am in town, I'm in business doing makeup. So why would you want to publicize my makeup business? So I know a lot about makeup. I love makeup, and I think that's the number one most important thing about me is that I really have a passion for it. And I just love looking at the new products, the new tips and tricks and trends of the seasons. And I love to constantly update and try them out so I know what's hot, what looks good. And I've done my research and tried out to see what looks good on different skin types and skin tones and, different ages, different eye shapes, and all of that. I also have really competitive pricing, and I'm in town, I'm local, I'm young, I know what I'm doing. So you really have nothing to lose by coming to me. Also, I wouldn't mind publicity for my YouTube channel, youtube.com/allrightbeauty, where I put up a lot of videos about makeup and beauty and mainly makeup. So I just wanted to say thank you again to Ted and the whole class. I hope you guys had a great time. I'd love to keep in touch with all of you. Bye.
Hi, my name is Gabrielle Dweck, and I wanted to start off by saying thank you, Professor Leibowitz, for this amazing, amazing opportunity. I got a lot out of this class, and to begin with, I met with such amazing students, classmates, people that are just like me with a vision and a goal, and to hear their ideas was just spectacular that these people could think up those ideas. And similar to me, I had this idea in my head, and I think I'm the only one who has it, but all these people around me have it too. I also enjoyed to see those videos in the beginning of class of people my age or a little bit older than me who started just like me with an idea, and they opened a business and they became successful, and they showed us each way and how they did it and gave us good tips on how to get there. In addition, I also loved our buying trip, even though it was only 2 people. We had a great time. It was one-on-one with Professor Leibowitz, and I learned a lot. It was fun to see all those stores and to go in and see what to buy and what's selling and what's not. I also love to sell on campus. That was a lot of fun. And I learned from the speakers to stay motivated, to work hard, to understand that it's okay to fail and that you learn from every single failure that you have. And I learned that from a business that I opened, and we didn't stop until we finished, until we got it right. We made a macaroon, it came out bad. 7, 8, 10 times it came out wrong, but we didn't stop when we failed. We just kept going. And that's what I learned also from this class and from my experience. And I believe you should choose me as Entrepreneur of the Year because I'm motivated, determined, and I will not stop until I become successful, and I will never let you down. And I just want to tell you again, thank you so much for this opportunity, and I'm sorry I couldn't make it there today. Bye, guys.
Hey everyone, my name is Joey Sabin, and first of all, I'm sorry I couldn't be there with you today, but I wanted to share my experiences with you through this video. First of all, before I begin, wanted to thank Professor Leibowitz for a tremendous program and for all that he does to give back. This program definitely has redefined my outlook on business and of being an entrepreneur, and has opened my eyes to so many different things. Over the last few months, I can't even begin to describe how many things have changed. And I want to thank him for truly giving back, and really thank you, Professor Leibowitz, to you and your family for making this possible, for really changing the lives of students one step at a time. Thank you, thank you, thank you. It's basically my business proposal, I guess you could say, was focused on an application that would basically enable consumers to have everything that they need in order to, sort of define what, where they stand financially in one place. It starts basically at a local store. One goes and swipes their credit card. They get a receipt. The first thing that I thought about was, why do we need a receipt? Everything should just be taken into one program. Why in the year 2013 do we still have receipts? It's crazy. So basically, what would happen is the specific credit cards would be synced to a program, and every purchase that somebody makes, the receipt would automatically be transmitted electronically to this application. It would hold all the receipts in one place. So if you ever need the receipt, if you ever need to see the receipt, you'll be able to pull it up from the program. Additionally, all the cards are going to be synced to the application as well. So the consumer is going to have the ability to see their credit limit and also all their expenses together in one place. Of course, at that point, you'll be able to see, how much debt you have in comparison to the assets that you have. Once that's completed, I hope to also sync an individual's bank account to the same program. So they're going to be able to see how much money they actually have in comparison to how much money they're actually spending. It's pretty much, Finance 101 put into an application. But the nice thing about it is basically the credit aspect. The credit aspect is, of course, there's no doubt that credit has a growing role in our society today. And so I came up and I started asking myself, like, what is the next thing? What could potentially be the next big thing when it comes to this growing, phenomenon in our era? So what I thought about was basically people are going to want to know and are going to want to have an idea of how to benefit themselves when it comes to credit. So this application will have the ability to remind people of where they stand when it comes to their credit rating. Of course, when you spend more than your credit limit or get close to your credit limit, it's going to lower your credit score because your risk factor is going to go up. The higher the risk, the lower the score. So at that point, an alarm is going to go off and say you're spending too much. So things like this are basically, what I hope to implement into the program and into the application. I know that, there's obviously a lot of work that needs to be done, but I know that I started already, and there's, it's definitely promising, and I know that this could be the next big thing, especially considering the growing role of credit. People want to know what their credit rating is, people want to know what their credit score is, and more so, people need advice as to how to keep their credit score and their credit rating at a specific level in order to assure that they can get more finances, more loans, and more credit. So I hope that this idea will be able to grow and become really the next big thing. And I honestly cannot thank Professor Leibowitz enough for opening my mind to it. When I came into the class, I knew that I wanted to do something about it. I knew that I wanted to do something regarding, credit, paper receipts and putting everything together into one program to make it easier for consumers. But I had no clue how to go about it. I had no clue, about business. And I know that at this point I'm still very far from putting it together, but it's tremendous how far I've come over the last few months. And I know that one day you guys will see it. So keep your eyes open for it. Thank you so much, Professor Leibowitz, and your family for a tremendous program. I enjoyed every bit of it, and again, I'm really sorry I couldn't be there with you guys today, but I'm looking forward to seeing you guys around campus again soon. Keep in touch. Thank you. Best of luck to all of you, and thanks a lot. Take care. Have a great summer.
So it was a very hard choice who was going to be Entrepreneur of the Year, because we have a lot of great entrepreneurs in here. But as you saw, Jamalia was a standout in this class by any examination. She participated, she asked all the right questions to all the speakers, her homeworks were flawless, she was one of the first people in class, and certainly the fact that she sold the chocolates and she thought out of the box that on Mother's Day, the biggest holiday of the year, for her to bring pops with the word mom on there was absolutely brilliant. She sold out in just a few hours, and that was one of the rainiest days of the year. If you remember last Wednesday, as you know from being in this class, we rough it out. This is the ultimate boot camp here. A thundering rainstorm was not stopping us from selling on campus. No way, okay? In the heaviest downpours, right? And we were soaking wet. We would drag the tables under the breezeway, and then we pulled them right back out when it stopped again. Okay? Because as I said, Macy's does not close when it rains. Okay? Your business doesn't shut down because of a rain. Okay? Hurricane Sandy, right? Doesn't take the spirit out of people. People have to rebuild and get out there and sell. So to be an entrepreneur, as you know, rain is not going to be going to detain you from going out to sell. I'd like to call up last year's winner of the Entrepreneur of the Year, Slav Kuzmin, to say a few words. Slav is graduating this year as well, and he's going to tell you a little bit about his business. He was in this year as well, so let's hear it for Slav.
Thanks, guys. I just wanted, real quick, I said it last year, the way I got into the program is I applied and filled out the application. I didn't hear back. And like most things in life, I just kind of, didn't hear back. But something inside told me, you know what? You got it. What are you doing? You have to get it done. So I filled out the application again. Sent an email, asked, and they're like, oh, we never received it. So what I decided to do is I physically took a screenshot of my application and emailed it to Ted. And before I even got into the class, the lesson started about persistence and sticking with the goal and just seeing what happens. And I'm a lifelong learner. I told you guys about my business. Originally wanted to go to law school and turning that into a business. And I think every person, no matter if you're a doctor, a lawyer, you're an entrepreneur. You're going to be dealing with people. You're going to be working with people. That's it. And that's, no matter what profession it is, you will have to have those skills. And just like Jeffrey said, that it's all about networking. I would never think at such an age, I would see somebody who's heading a PR fund, who's running a hedge fund, somebody like Ted, and I'm 21 years old, and I think I'm very, very fortunate to have that, and I'm very lucky. And I know I told you guys about the issues I was having in my business, and after Anthony's speech about trust, reciprocity, and just good karma, I decided to, give it a shot, see how it, goes, and just putting all my insecurities aside, I gave full trust, and it worked out. And I'm actually rebuilding my business back. Whoever's going to law school knows the exam's coming up, and I'm actually known on campus as the guy who has the LSAT line, so everyone already comes to me for that, and I think that's great. And something for Willie Hopkins over here, I wanted to mention this school badly needs more entrepreneur classes. 100%. It's a growing thing. People want to start businesses, and you don't have to be an entrepreneur or starting your own business. You can be any profession. I think this is something the school needs. Thank you so much.
So Slav, for those who missed his speech early in the year, knows that he's the LSAT watch king. He came up with this great idea of designing a watch that the proctors will not take away from you, because you can't walk in with a calculator or a watch, but this LSAT watch, which times the exact times that you take the different parts of the test, is allowed in. So he was creative, he was unique. Selling it online, we've talked about selling it through Stanley Kaplan and other services like that, but that's the way you're going to be successful, by keep on trying. All right, well, that concludes our service, but we usually do something every year. We're going to have Andy Sillin, our great vice president of school, say a few words to you to end off the...
First of all, we want to thank Ted for his investment in this program. 7th year now,
yeah.
So it's growing, but every year I come to these functions and I'm just astonished by all of you and other students who come to this program in the last couple of years. And I think it's just so exciting to see you have the opportunity to get out of the classroom and to actually be at the coalface and buying and selling and thinking about get out and be entrepreneurs and build your own businesses. There's nothing like it, nothing else like it in college. I know there's all many other programs like it anywhere. So you are very lucky to be part of it. We're very lucky that Ted is not only supporting it, but also teaching it and organizing it and thinking about it. We have very few alumni of the college who is fully engaged, always completely intellectually engaged with a project. So thank you, Ted.
Thank you, Andy.
should know the students that you're part of the alumni, you're part of the community. Students of Brooklyn College going back for 75 years. So many of whom have become incredibly successful as entrepreneurs. There's a lot of products out there. You get a chance to look at our next Brooklyn College magazine. There's going to be a whole page of products that have been developed by Brooklyn College graduates. I'm not going to tell you a lot of them.
Great.
Welcome to the club.